Folks, the president has manufactured one heck of a political crisis for himself.
Donald Trump is manufacturing a national security crisis.
You will hear them say is that this is a manufactured crisis.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis.
It's a manufactured crisis for the president to get a political win.
We have a president who will go on TV tonight and lie and lie and lie some more. This is a manufactured crisis.
How he manufactures crises like immigrants seeking legal refuge.
But first, here's my take. Given President Trump's mean-spirited and often bigoted attitudes on immigration, it pains me to say this, but he is right that the United States faces a crisis with its asylum system. Democrats might hope that the out-of-control situation at the southern border undermines Trump's image among his base as a tough guy who can tackle immigration, but they should be careful. It could actually work to the president's advantage. Since 2014, the flow of asylum seekers into the United States has skyrocketed. Last year, immigration courts received 162,000 asylum claims, a 240% increase from 2014. The result is a staggering backlog, with more than 300,000 asylum cases pending, and the average immigration case has been pending for more than 700 days. It's also clear that the rules surrounding asylum are vague, lax, and being gamed. The initial step for many asylum seekers is to convince officers that they have a credible fear of persecution in their home countries, and about 75% meet that criteria. Some applicants for asylum have suspiciously similar stories using identical phrases. Many simply use the system to enter the U.S. and then melt into the shadows or gain a work permit while their application is pending. Asylum is meant to be granted to a very small number of people in extreme circumstances, not as a substitute for the process of immigration itself. Yet the two have gotten mixed up. As The Atlantic's David Frum has pointed out, the idea of a right to asylum is a relatively recent one, dating to the early years of the Cold War. Guilt-ridden over the rejection of many Jewish refugees during World War II, the UN created a right of asylum to protect those who were fleeing regimes where they would be killed or imprisoned because of their identity or beliefs. This standard has gotten broader and broader over the years and now includes threats of gang warfare and domestic violence. These looser criteria, coupled with the reality that this is a safe way to enter the U.S., have made the asylum system easy to abuse.
Now in 2018, they're telling you the existential threat to America is a bunch of poor refugees 1,000 miles away. They're even taking our brave troops away from their families for a political stunt at the border. And the men and women of our military deserve better than that.
President Obama is sending 1,200 National Guard troops to boost security along the U.S.-Mexican border. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Chip Reid has the details. Good morning, Chip.
Well, good morning, Betty. In addition to the troops, the president is also requesting $500 million for border security. But some border state politicians are already saying more help is needed.
Roll tape. Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
We need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more, and we need to create the environment in which we get people out of the shadows and then give them some earned right to legalization.
We are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years.
If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
We will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes.
Oh, my, oh, my. Well done.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
Families who enter our country the right way and play by the rules watch others flout the rules. People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
And because we live in an age where terrorists are challenging our borders, we cannot allow people to pour into the U.S. undetected, undocumented.
That is one of the most dangerous places on earth, one of the most dangerous cities on earth. It's Juarez, Mexico. And this is the United States of America. That is what separates it. The wall, built by private money. We built the Wall Foundation over a 72-hour period in late May and early June of this year.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the group.
So what you're seeing right now is a caravan, a small caravan of illegals
They're
that
just
were
standing there at the top wondering what the
they
heck
didn't know where to
happens.
go at this point. So this is real footage of just basically them getting here after however long it took them to cross that desert, and they don't know where to go. What do you think they did at this point? They went down the other side?
I'm pretty sure that they decided to just, try to find another entrance on the other side of the mountain.
It looks like ants.
Wait till they scatter.
And this is a really great representation of the other side, another point of having the wall. It's also to deter people from even trying in the first place.
Well, and if you look at this and you see this group of people, imagine that all day long, every day. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Groups that size or bigger, all day long, walking across into our country.
It was reported that last month alone, 144,278 were apprehended. So that's not just how many got into our country, that is how many got caught.
Well,
and CBP estimates that only 1 in 3 actually get caught, so you can triple that number.
The average is 2 to 1. It's just like the drugs. You've heard about these billions of dollars or millions of dollars worth of drugs that have been stopped at ports of entry.
Those are the only ones that have been stopped.
Well, it's true. Yeah. So it's the same ratio. For every one shipment that gets stopped, there's 2 more that get through that size or bigger somewhere else where there's not a port of entry. So there's no real way to gauge how many people are here illegally or how many drugs actually make it into our country. And what people really need to realize is, like my son's death was preventable. So by them donating to this wall, they're helping prevent the drugs, the sex trafficking, the human trafficking. They're going to help prevent that from happening. So we need to be preventing this from happening again.
Compromise the integrity of our elections. And this is serious. This is not, me trying to fear-monger, as I know some will comment and say. This is really going to compromise the integrity of elections. As you know, the other day, we passed a bill. Of course, we voted against it, but it did become law. It's a bill that would provide driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, those who are in our country unlawfully. Now, during that debate, and some of you may have watched it, I spoke specifically about what would happen if we enacted automatic voter registration in this state. The House of Representatives passed a bill recently, which is not going to go anywhere. But in New York State now, today it seems, they're going to pass an automatic voter registration bill, and it will become law. And the problem with this bill is that it blatantly says those who apply for driver's licenses, regardless of where they're from, they apply for a driver's license regardless of what foreign documentation they may be using to get that driver's license. They are going to be automatically registered to vote, and it puts the burden on the individual to opt out. Puts the burden on the individual to opt out if they are not eligible. Then what happens? There's even other things in here that says the warning statement that you give to non-citizens to decline to apply to register to vote, that warning that you will be in trouble, that it is against the law, and that you will face penalties, is actually not even included in the language of this bill. We questioned it. They're saying that they're going to do a chapter amendment after this already becomes law to put that in there. So that's number 2. And number 3, the bill specifically says when a person who is ineligible to vote fails to decline to register to vote and did not willfully and knowingly seek to register to vote, knowing that he or she is not eligible to do so, they will not be guilty of a crime, and such act may not be considered as evidence of claim of citizenship. It also says when a person who is ineligible to vote fails to decline to register.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
There's abuse in these facilities. There's abuse. This was them on their best behavior, and they put them in a room with no running water. And these women were being told by CBP officers to drink out of the toilet. They were drinking water out of the toilet. And that was them knowing a congressional visit was coming.
This is our world's smallest bathroom. I'm currently in the middle of wallpapering. We just got a sink attachment for the toilet. Watch this. This is so cool. Clean water comes through, and you wash your hands, and it goes into the bowl. So you flush with the gray water. I just think this is the coolest thing ever. Our toilet isn't very efficient, so we actually get a lot of water to wash our hands. Then it fills up the bowl. It stops when the bowl's full.
As we speak, there are expecting mothers, nursing moms, elderly folks, vulnerable populations being held in detention unnecessarily, doing permanent damage to children.
No one has treated migrants more inhumanely, and take it from me who's seen it myself, than the Trump administration.
There is no shocking the conscience of Trump voters, because this is what he promised, that he would hurt.
We believed it was necessary at the time. I still believe it is necessary to maintain a certain capability for families.
Clearly something's broken here. What is the solution?
I mean, the solution is to talk about discontinuing, completely abolishing the camps.
I think it's a money-making scheme. Instead of them processing the children out, they're processing children in so that they can use government money to expand this facility. I said to one of the workers, who are all white men, no Hispanic men, no Hispanic women, everyone running this institution are white men. And this place needs to be shut down.
That's what you're calling for.
Shut down. They're making profit, greed.
Trump has kids in cages. It's trending. They said Trump got them in there. Trump went to the border and grabbed these kids and put them in cages. Man, these policies that they got for illegal immigration was in order when Obama was in office. Yeah, Obama had people in cages, kids in cages, man. Yeah, this is nothing new. This didn't happen overnight. Yeah. Trump didn't get elected president and says, look, this is what we're gonna do. First order of business, we're gonna turn these detention centers, we're gonna turn them into concentration camps. We're gonna take all the kids, we're gonna separate them from our parents, right? We're gonna put them in a cage. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do, because I'm all about racism and hating immigrants. Y'all know I'm xenophobic, right? I hate people coming over here. I can't stand these people. We're gonna put them in cages. We're gonna turn these detention centers into concentration camps. No, that's not what happened. Do y'all even realize why kids are separated from their parents? Here's a news story I came across on Twitter. Yeah. This girl came over. I think she was 12, 13, maybe 10, something like that. She came over with a group of people. Border Patrol, they did some investigating. Yeah. They found 10 different semen samples. I think it was 12. 12? Well, 10's enough. 12 samples of semen, not 12 different samples. Yeah, this girl's, how old was she, 12? Something like that. And this is regularly what's happening to these kids. These kids are being brought here not by their parents. Yeah. They're not with their parents. Yeah. Why else do you have them separated like this? This is why they separate them, because she wasn't with her parents. She been penetrated by 12 different, how many dudes it was? Yeah. Right? That's why they separate kids. That's why protect them. Yeah. These people they're with is not with their parents. These illegal immigrants know if they come across by themselves, they're gonna get handled a certain way. Yeah. If you come across with a kid, that kid's a trophy, man. Yeah. They're manipulating, they're using these kids to exploit them. And y'all keep saying that Trump is putting these kids, no, that's the only option we have is to separate them from these people until Border Patrol does what they have to do, the investigation. So, I like to hear people bitch about what's going on. What's the alternative? Everybody bitches, but you got no alternatives. So this is the best option we got at this point. Yeah. You need to separate them. Make sure if it is their parents, you need to verify that. You can't take people's word for it. These people don't have any identification on them, man. Well, some have. Some of them got like a damn drawing out of high school. I mean, it's bad, man. I'm not making fun of the situation. I'm just trying to be a little lighthearted about it, but the current infrastructure we have at our border wasn't built to sustain this amount of people coming through our border illegally. Yeah. Our immigration laws are broken. That's why people are bringing kids, and those kids are not even theirs. So you have people like Cory Booker, you have AOC, they're in Congress. It's their job to fix the problem at the border. But they blame it on the president who's just been in there 2 years. Like Cory Booker, he went across the border and grabbed some people seeking asylum. Right. Sound like they had legitimate cases coming from See That Warriors. That's a horrible place. Yeah, and they were like sexual victims. Yeah. But this is my thing when it comes to Democrats. Yeah. Did he do this before he was running for president? He had the opportunity. He's a senator. Right? If he really cares about people, was he doing this before he ran for president? Yeah. No, he wasn't. Yeah. Now he's doing it because there's cameras around and he's running for president. Yeah. That I don't like that. Yeah, it's not genuine, man. You're being disingenuous. You had more than enough opportunity as a senator in Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, he's from to do these things. Yeah, since 2013 he's been a senator, but now he's running for president. He does it. Yeah, you could have did this before you ran for president. You don't need to be president. Like there's people like I see on Instagram, they'll show them giving money to somebody like a homeless person. Yeah. Would they do it if they didn't have an Instagram profile with millions of followers? Yeah, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. I do it on the regular, man. I don't post on Instagram. I don't post on Instagram. I don't have to. It comes from my heart. I don't need a camera on me. I don't need people taking photographs of me doing something good. I do it because I do it out of goodness of my heart, not because there's a camera on me. Yeah, not because somebody's patting me on the back, oh, you're a good liberal. Yeah. You hipping these immigrants. And then I want to talk about AOC, man. Man, show her the video. She went to a detention center, and this is what she said.
I'm okay. Sit down, stay down, don't try to stand up.